What's up, preppers? Welcome back to another video. This is a bit of news that I have to share with you. About a week ago I watched a YouTube channel called Ex-British Army Paz 49. So I'll link his channel below and I'll link the original video below. Now, I wasn't going to report on this because he's already reported on this, of course, but his video was about mass fatality resilience capability, a government contract for buying mass casualty tents to store hundreds of bodies at short notice with refrigeration and everything like that. So the video for that is linked below, which I thought, that's crazy that that's happening. What are they thinking? Are they thinking pandemic? Are they thinking potential war? Is it just general preparedness? Is it resilience? I don't know. But it's definitely something that's flown under the radar a bit. And I received an email from a friend of the channel called John, and he forwarded me an article now, which I'll put on screen and I'll read it out. So this is from Euro Weekly News, and it's France tells hospitals to be war ready by March 2026. France hospital readiness, a leaked health ministry memo urges regional hospitals to prepare for possible mass casualty surges by March 2026, including staging hubs near ports and airports, and extra trauma and PTSD training. France Health Ministry has quietly asked the nation's hospitals to gear up for major military engagement in Europe, with full readiness requested by March 2026. The instruction, revealed by Le Canard and Shane, has been sent to the regional health agencies ARS and sketches out how the system should cope if France becomes a rear base in a large-scale conflict. What the letter asks for: hubs, training and manpower. According to the document dated 18th of July 2025, hospitals are told to be ready to receive large numbers of wounded troops, French and Allied, at short notice, and do so for weeks or even months. To speed the flow, the ministry proposes setting up medical staging centres near ports and airports so patients can be stabilised and moved on to their home nations quickly. There's a clear training push too. Staff should be briefed on wartime constraints, think scarce supplies, sudden surges in demand and disrupted logistics, and refreshed on trauma care, including post-traumatic stress and rehabilitation medicine for complex injuries. In parallel, medics across the system are encouraged to join the military health service to strengthen frontline capacity. Mass casualty plan, projected numbers and response timeline. The planning assumptions are sobering. According to the guidance reported by Le Canard, hospitals should be able to absorb between 10,000 and 50,000 wounded personnel over a 10 to 180 day window, depending on how a crisis unfolds. That doesn't mean such numbers are expected. It means that the system must be able to cope if they arrive. Translation for hospital managers: free up beds at pace, rehearse reception and triage, know which wards can flip to trauma, and map out evacuation pathways from bedside to the aircraft ramp. The letter even touches on the human side of long-haul staffing rotas that can survive months of pressure and psychological supports for teams living on adrenaline. Prudence, not panic, says the government. Asked about the leak on BFM-TV, Health Minister Catherine Vautrin didn't deny the correspondence. Her line was calm. Hospitals were always preparing for epidemics, for surges. It's normal for a country to anticipate crises and their consequences. In other words, this is a contingency planning, not a prediction of war. Even so, the timing and plain language of the memo fit a broader European push to build resilience against crisis in general. Across the bloc, governments are refreshing contingency plans for everything from cyber incidents to blackouts and extreme weather, and the European Commission has urged households to assemble basic emergency kits, which is water, batteries, medicines, key documents, to ride out short-term disruption. For France, the messages to the health service remain simple and stark. Be ready to act as the back office of the high-intensity conflict and be ready soon. So the document's not denied by their government. This is not something that's just some fake thing that's out there. They've pretty much confirmed that this is a real thing, and the wording on it is scary, to say the least. And the fact that we're doing the same thing, preparing for mass casualties, tells me that there's some sort of long-term planning for a major conflict. Hopefully that's just a conventional war and not a nuclear war, but either way, it's looking more and more likely that we're getting ready for something like that. Who knows, maybe our governments have learned from previous mistakes and are just preparing and just prepping, just being ready just in case. And there's nothing in the pipeline and there's nothing planned. That would be the eternal optimist in me to think something like that. I'd love to know what you think about both of these situations. Don't forget to check out Paz's video below on the UK doing a similar sort of thing. As we see preparedness become more normal and widespread across Europe, here in the UK we're still very much burying our head in the sand. So hopefully we're going to catch up with the trend, and it's not just underhanded prepping by the government that the general population simply don't know about. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in a video really soon. Goodbye.
Yeah.